My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Arch-Villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe-Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. My friends, Disney held their very limited, very contained red carpet US premiere of Snow White the other day, and wonder of wonders, holy crap, it's the bestest thing ever, according to all the select, hand-picked friendly critics on the narrow approved list that were not allowed to talk to Rachel Zegler like she was infected by Captain Trips in The Stand.
Or Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, when he was wheeled out strapped down with a mask covering his mouth, so he couldn't, do the charm of making from Excalibur, or tell the funniest joke in the world and kill everyone in the room by making them laugh themselves to death. Rachel was off limits like that too.
Both are apt analogies, Harvey Cthulhu. The UK premiere was flat out cancelled because they couldn't risk Zegler saying more shit that would alienate the few remaining prospective customers they had left after she insulted half the country, took a big steaming crap on the original beloved classic movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, called The Princess Stalker, alienated Gal Gadot with her political comments, and shit all over the idea of romantic, true, heterosexual love. That kind of publicity you can't buy. You can only get that from hordes of locusts descending on your film like a biblical plague from the Lord. But the US premiere, that was extremely managed. Believe me, this was a stage-managed affair to the hilt, with only the most kindly hand-picked critics grateful for the early access allowed. And what do you know? Hey, it worked! The next day, the trades and social media were falling all over themselves to praise this piece of shit. We were flooded, again in biblical terms, flooded with a deluge of the most over-the-top incandescent rave reviews you've ever seen. Catsy Stefan was presumably tap dancing and playing the fiddle desperately right in front of Mickey's throne when they wrote, "Rachel Zegler is a shining supernova in Snow White, beautifully embodying the graceful, gentle nature of the OG Disney princess. It's a visual feast with show-stopping new musical numbers and, of course, dozens of enchanting animated animals." I couldn't believe how insanely over-the-top that comment was until I thought about it and realized, hey, supernovas obliterate everything around them. So by that standard, sure, Rachel Zegler is a super-duper nova. I mean, just look at all the horrible press sabotaging this movie. And Tom MCJL rants, "Rachel Zegler stuns in Snow White. With a vocal range crafted by the gods, she shines magic, charm, and beauty into this spinful reimagining of Disney's 1937 classic, with Gal Gadot serving a cartoonishly fun and whimsical portrayal of the evil queen." That's funny. If she shines magic, charm, and beauty, why the hell have we seen zero evidence of this in any of the trailers or ads? Not one moment of magic, charm, or beauty on the part of Rachel Zegler. What? Did Disney bend over backwards to hide it from us all this time? And yet, we're supposed to believe, holy shit, Snow White is a stunning and brave triumph according to all these reviews, which had absolutely nothing bad to say about the movie, which apparently is as perfect can be. If you don't believe your own lying eyes and lying ears, of course, which told you the movie was a cold, ugly, agenda-driven bastardization of a timeless classic after watching the first trailer, And then your lying eyes and ears erroneously told you it was a box office bomb waiting to explode in theaters after you watched the second trailer. No, don't trust your own judgment. Who the hell are you, little person with your silly opinions made after watching their own advertising materials? No. Listen to the privileged hand-picked critics who are proclaiming it the best human invention since the freaking wheel. Folks, I'm not kidding. Disney has gone all out full court press on social media after months of silence, shouting from the mountaintops that Snow White is a triumph.
I'll bet not one of those shills mentioned that this version of Snow White cuts numerous classic songs about finding love, about romance, about happily ever after, substituting them with soulless new songs with feminist messaging. Snow White has had its proverbial heart cut out of it and placed in the very golden box the Queen provided in the cartoon. I'm sure the evil Queen would approve of this most evil remake.
I'm certain of that too, O Skull of Calderon. So why exactly has Disney decided, after failing to advertise this thing on the Super Bowl, the biggest audience of the year, to go all in and advertise the hell out of it? Why not lie and create an incredibly bright and happy trailer, misleading though it would be, run it on the Super Bowl and con audiences into at least coming on opening weekend before word of mouth could spread? Well, the answer is obvious. Same reason they didn't advertise Captain America Brave New World on the Super Bowl mere days before its release. Disney had no faith in either of these movies. So why all of a sudden have they turned around on a dime and started an advertising blitz of epic proportions? The answer, my friends, appears to me to be simple desperation. Because it's looking like Snow White is not only going to bomb, it's looking like a complete and utter failure of spectacular proportions based on the ticket pre-sales or lack thereof. No shit, folks. In response to the string of insane, over-the-top raving reviews, people started posting screen caps of empty theater after empty theater all across this great country of ours on Snow White's opening weekend. But don't take my word for it. Just look at them. Just a glance at these images invokes the bleak melancholy of Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence, of vast desert wastelands, of post-apocalyptic ticket sales where only the cockroaches are there to screen these movies. I don't think I've ever seen emptier theaters for the opening weekend of a supposed major film release like this is alleged to be. I mean, look at this. Wallen Ballin says, I've never in my life seen anything like this. Snow White opening Saturday, IMAX, prime time for families in one of the busiest movie theaters in the entire DC metro area. I go to this theater all the time. I have literally never seen anything like this. Look at that vast sea of empty seats for Saturday, March 22nd at 5:30 p.m. Wow. Chrissy Mayer writes, not good. Saturday night, 7:30 p.m., 0 tickets sold. Snow White is DOA. Our friend Techie Mantis says, this is the biggest cinema in my area, and it has several showings on Friday, and it's laughable with the sold seats. This is a multi-part post. It has many images, as you can see, of just how badly this shit is doing. Darth Esquire says, here's the first local theater I looked at. Ouch. Sky of blue and sea of green.
Seats of blue and not much green on this empty movie screen.
John 1 says, Friday night is a bit more filled, but opening night fan event at Tucson, California is sparse. The rear section is usually filled for opening of big releases. The theater is usually filled for opening since it's the most South AMC, so all the South Orange County A-list subs go here. Looks pretty empty to me. All kinds of celebs says, yeah, word of mouth is working here. Robin Wilson says Saturday, 2 p.m. IMAX, no tickets sold at all. That's the prime time for children. Meta X says, Variety, Is your review of Snow White as a shining supernova based on the glare of empty seats, or the shilling supernova that is your brand of news? The story's the same over and over again, as you can see, folks. Empty theaters across this land, and that is why, all of a sudden, they decided, well, maybe if we blitz this thing, we can at least spare ourselves the embarrassment of cratering out, but I think this thing is doomed.
As I always say, Doomcock, and I invented this phrase, so whenever you hear anyone else say it, remind them that we invented it. The wages of woke is broke.
Struth, Harvey, struth. So, my friends, it's looking bad for Snow White, despite the desperate Shill reviews, and I believe this movie deserves to fail because I'm sick and tired of genuine, magical classics being despoiled for whole generations of new kids just to make a dime, which is probably about close to what Snow White will actually wind up making. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.